everyone, Carol is here to share what is the gist of the learning from lesson 18. So lesson 18 actually drill the focus to know about the stem of a person, and actually that would help us to better understand the person's character and actually enhance our communication with them. So there is actually this portion where Grandmaster actually introduced us to the 12 branches, where this sets of information tells about the external outlook, descriptions of the person, but this can only serve as an additional info because the accuracy is only about 60 to 70%. It is actually better to focus on reading the day stamp and the door and the information that these symbols actually represented, because different story of the person will be generated if we read it differently across the different combinations from the door and God, the door and stars, and the star and God. This already presented 3 different sets of information that can tell us different facets of a person. So this is additional to the very first start of doing Qimen Destiny reading, of interpreting the individual star, the individual God, and the individual door, because all these unique symbols within a palace will tell us different sets of information that is tied to a person. Yeah, so what is important when we do Qimen reading is in the first step forward, use the day stamp to locate the heavenly stamp and earthly branches in the Qimen chart. Then the second step is actually to see the information that the stars, the doors, the gods individually that brings about. Step 3 moving forward is actually to see whether if there is any special combination that we have spoke about in lesson 17, the full yin chart, the fan yin chart, the horse, the emptiness. And at the same time, move forward to look at the different stories behind the 3 key different combinations, namely the door and the God, the door and the stars, the star and the God. What all the special combinations would tell the story about a person. And also don't forget to check what is the influence of the 5 elements on the day stamps, and also if there is actually something optional for us to consider, is actually to check out the real energy. Remember we talked about the 5 elements that are tagged to the unique symbols within each palace, but this is actually optional when we are doing Destiny reading. We can actually don't actually move into this extent of the reading. So bear in mind, we just do a quick recap. We just need to focus on looking at the day stamps, looking at the individual information the star, the doors, the gods have brought about. Identify the different stories when we actually do 3 different sets of combinations between the door and the God, door and the stars, and stars and God. Lastly, look out for emptiness, look out for horse, look out for any full yin chart or fan yin chart. And finally, do a check on the influence of the 5 elements. I think that these 4 main steps, if we got it correctly, it should help us to give a very detailed insights into a person's character. Yeah, so do take some time to practice doing interpretation using this 4 simple steps, and I'll look out to share more about what we will be learning in lesson 19. See you then.